All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this little shindig that you stumbled into the middle of this evening is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly, mostly weekly gathering with our fellow friends, fans, fanatics, the Legion of Michael Myers, which brings me to our returning friends. So if you're new here, welcome, and to everybody else, what's up, guys? Happy Michael Myers Monday. You made it. We all made it through another week. It's actually been 2 weeks since our last gathering here on a Monday evening, and we made it through another start of this week, through another Monday, and like I always say, that in itself, if nothing else, is reason to celebrate tonight. As if we don't have enough to celebrate 45 years of terror announcements, we're going to talk about some other cool, tasty news bits and bites we're going to chew on and discuss tonight. We're going to do shout-outs, we're going to do some poll results and launch into one, all that good stuff tonight, and a fun flashback clip to one of our previous interviews. So I'm going to turn over here to the live chat right now and check in with our friends. Again, if you're new here, don't be shy. Chime in like everybody else. I see a lot of familiar names and familiar faces here. Some of our illustrious channel members. It's just $5 a month, guys. Your name will show up like Lurch and Brett Patrick and Andromeda and Michael Braun and some of our other channel members that have been in here. Brett Patrick as well. It's just $5 a month, guys. You want to get in on the club here soon, because in just a couple weeks, we're going to be doing our very first members-only event. It's just going to be a real informal hangout, I think, but that's going to be fun. Let's see who else is in here this evening. Phil has checked in. David Suber, of course, early in the day. Teen Wolf. Great to see Teen Wolf back in here this week. Let's see who else. Megan has checked in. I saw Darlene checked in tonight as well. Puppet Master's in the house. Grave Jacker is here as well. Larry Moore, another regular friend of ours here every week. I love it. The Shape of Winter, awesome Michael Myers cosplayer. Make sure you're following The Shape of Winter on IG and the other socials out there. Let's see who else is checked in here. Tim Leo in the house. Coco De Loco is here as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Lurch, another channel member. Jim Welch is in the house. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Jim. Camp Blood hanging out with us tonight. I love it. Love to see it. Awesome. Teen Wolf says there might be a Michael Myers backpack released this year by Spirit Halloween. It's literally just a secret photo taken by someone and posted on Facebook. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm actually going to talk about a couple new merch items from Spirit Halloween, coincidentally, a little bit later on tonight. And that was not one on the agenda, but I will definitely be keeping an eye out for that. Appreciate the heads up. Like I said, we do have some cool news items to talk about tonight. Some 45 Years of Terror updates. Some really exciting guest announcements have been made since our last gathering. We're going to break them down. We're going to be talking just all about the event itself. We've learned some other exciting info about 45 Years of Terror we'll be talking about. And before we do that, though, you know, we usually do the show and tell at the top. Sometimes we switch it around. I'm going to switch it around again tonight. We're not going to do a show and tell. Did share some pictures of our H2018 masks. We're going to be talking about H2018's original ending just a little bit tonight. If you don't own the mask, the officially licensed 2018, it is the best-selling Michael Myers mask of all time, ever produced. Still, to this day. We've got a good shipment in stock right now. They look really great. And I posted at top, I've talked about this in previous weeks. We still haven't really gone public with this special. It's just for the Triple M crew now. If you watch these live streams with us on Monday nights, that's really the only time we've hyped this particular discount. But I pinned it at the top of the live chat. You can get $3 off any in-stock Michael Myers mask that includes 2018 kills and or ins, as well as the Michael and or Laurie H2 collectible figures. You can get $3 off any or all of those items with the special code just for you guys on Monday nights. That is Triple M Crew 3. MMMCREW3. Triple M Crew 3. MMM Crew 3. There you go. So, do that. Some of you have taken advantage of that, and I appreciate it. We don't have a ton of them. I just took inventory the other day. We've got like 8 left in this most recent shipment. So, we got a good enough for now, but, if you have not added that one to your collection, that would be the time, and there's the discount for you guys. Let's do the poll results first, because I found that what we're going to do is we're going to go over the poll results from last week, and we've actually got 2 weeks of poll results to go over. So we're going to knock those out right now at the top. And that way, if you didn't get a chance to vote on the poll, you can still let your voice be heard here as you're watching in the live chat. And then we're going to go ahead and launch this week's Triple M Michael Myers Monday poll question as well. And I kind of like doing that at the top sometimes because it does kind of fuel a bit of the discussion sometimes. And I think we've got a fun one for this week. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kick it off with our poll question from 2 weeks ago, because we did not go live last Monday. I appreciate you being patient with us. But if you remember 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the bobbleheads and the awesome Michael Myers clothesline bobblehead release from Spirit Halloween, and how Royal Baubles specifically has just been killing it with their all of their baubles, but specifically their Myers baubles. They did Bob, the Bob Kill, they did Michael in Bob's Ghost Sheet, they did Young Michael. They've done some really, really cool ones. They did Michael Behind the Hedge, and now we've got Michael at the clothesline. So, inspired by y'all's conversation in the live chat from 2 weeks ago, we asked 2 weeks ago, what scene from Halloween 1978 should Royal Baubles make into a bobblehead next? And I threw out a couple ideas, like Michael with the Smith's Grove station wagon. I don't know how they would do that, but they can pull it off. Annie's deathbed, maybe. Slicing Laurie's arm, coming out of the shadow. How about the final sit up? When Laurie thinks he's beaten and she's there, and we see Michael silently sit up behind her. My favorite moment in the entire franchise, if you're curious. I'd love to see that one personally. Or I also listed as an option Loomis on the balcony, seeing that Michael's body has vanished. And we'll go over here to the results right now so you can see what I'm looking at. Michael's finale sit-up is the overall winner with 36% of 117 total votes coming in. Second place was Annie's deathbed. I think it's such an iconic scene. It would just kind of be cool to have Annie in bobble form somehow. Again, I don't know exactly how they pull it off, but I have faith that Royal Baubles could do it. In third place with 15% is Michael with the station wagon. Then in 13 with just 13% in fourth place is Loomis on the balcony and Michael slicing Laurie's arm. In fifth place with just 5%. Looking down here quickly at the 3 comments we got from user WT4DK9WI5W. Michael standing in the sheets outside of Laurie's window freaks me out every time. Well, we've got that one. That one not eligible for next time, but yeah, we've got that one. Michael stabbing the knife over the sofa at Laurie, says Halloween Shake 31. I like that idea. That'd be a very good one. And then the doll. Oh, that's not related to this this poll. Okay. All right. So there's the results of 2 weeks ago's Triple M poll. Now we're going to pull up last week's poll. If I can find it here. Oh yeah, this was a kind of a last minute idea. We wanted to know, what is your favorite costume worn by a character other than Michael Myers in any Halloween franchise movie? And I have to first off give credit to Raptor Blue, who commented, "How is Jamie's clown costume not one of the options?" Well, you're right. I definitely probably should have put Jamie Lloyd's clown costume as one of the options, but I neglected to do that. And as always, if you don't see your option, you should write it in, as Raptor Blue did. So the options I did include were Ben Tramer's albino shape in H2, the trick-or-treaters in silver shamrock masks in H3. How about Tamara Glenn in Samantha's sexy devil costume from Halloween 5? Also kind of revised by Michelle Dawson's Nurse Deb character in Ends. And to an extent by Oscar in 2018, and then Oscar's mom at the beginning of Ends. Sexy devil costumes go a long way in this franchise. I threw in Laurie's magenta from Rocky Horror costume in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And then how about Cameron and Allison's Bonnie and Clyde in Halloween 2018? Again, we're going to be talking a lot about 2018 tonight. So we'll go over here to the results. The overwhelming winner with 58% of 93 total votes is the trick-or-treaters in silver shamrock masks from H3, followed at a very distant second place with 16% of the vote by Cameron Allison's Bonnie and Clyde in 2018. Then with 13%, you got Ben Tramer, Samantha as the sexy devil with 8% in fourth place, and Laurie's magenta from Zombies H2 with 5%. And in addition to Raptor Blues, comment and vote for Jamie's clown costume, Eliza Co2PV commented, "Laurie's magenta look was spot on to me, and she really rocked the look even without the magenta wig, in my opinion. Laurie plus blonde plus maid equals love in the eyes emoji. LOL." End quote. Okay, and so now that will bring us to this week's Michael Myers Monday poll question. Let's pull it up. We actually just launched the poll a few minutes ago as I was speaking. And again, part of the reason we're going to go ahead and launch it here at the top is it might inspire some conversation or commentary as we go on tonight. All right, so for this week's Michael Myers Monday poll question, we want to know what existing Halloween character, and let's go ahead and remove Laurie and Michael from the voting for this one. Excluding Laurie and Michael, what existing Halloween franchise character would you most like to see brought back in some way in a new movie or whatever the next project is, be it a TV series or whatever? What character? Now, again, I'm taking Laurie out of the equation because let's just assume it's not going to be Laurie for the time being. Laurie Strode. And we're going to take Michael out of the equation because let's just assume that whatever happens next, be it a year or a decade from now, Michael Myers is going to be in it. Okay? So the options I listed were the other most obvious choice, to me anyway, would be Dr. Loomis. Then how about Sheriff Brackett? How about Dan Chalice from Halloween 3? Tom Atkins' character. How about Jamie Lloyd? That's certainly a character I think a lot of you would like to see continue in some way. Or how about Corey Cunningham? Now, as always, if your pick is not among these 5 options, I mean, YouTube only lets me put 5 options in every poll. So please write your pick in the comments below the poll, and we will discuss the results during our next live stream. And if you are here with us live tonight, then go ahead and chime in. As you can see, we just launched a few minutes ago, already got our first 4 votes, and with those 4 votes, Dr. Loomis takes the early lead with 75%, followed by Jamie Lloyd with 25%. What do you guys think? I've said before, my personal pick out of those, as much as the most recent 3 films elevated, and rightfully so, the Laurie Strode character to this. I mean, she was already iconic and important to us as fans of the franchise and to horror fans who know the history of the genre. We've all known how important the character was, but to the mass general public that can barely tell the difference between Michael Myers and Jason, I think to a lot of them, the Laurie Strode character, as portrayed by Jamie Lee Curtis in these most recent films, was elevated in a new way. And I'm totally here for it. But my personal pick, if I'm saying who to focus on next, and this is assuming we're focusing on existing characters, taking on a whole new look of a whole new character that we've never even, focused on before, that's a whole nother story, and that's a way to go too, that I could totally get behind. But if we're going to revisit one of these existing characters from the past 13 films, the obvious choice to me is let the next project be a Dr. Loomis project. The way these last 3 were really very much Laurie Strode projects. Let's elevate that character in a way that he, I love Malcolm McDowell's portrayal in the Rob Zombie films. And, but, not since Donald Pleasance in those, in the 90s, was the last time he portrayed the character. So it's been almost 30 years since Donald Pleasance. We did have Malcolm, but that's been well over a decade now. So I think the time would be perfect for an exploration into Dr. Loomis as the genre and franchise icon that he is. The Van Helsing to Michael's Dracula, if you will. All right. I'm going to check in to the live chat and see what you guys are saying right now about the poll. And then we are going to get into our first news item tonight, which is 45 Years of Terror. All right, I see Brett Patrick, another channel member, has checked in and chimed in. Michael, over the back of the couch, about ready to come down on Laurie, like the old snow globe from Anchor Bay. Yes, we mentioned the snow globe a few weeks ago. I like that idea for a bobble. Are you listening, Royal Bobbles? We're going to have to send them this recording. I agree, Brett. That would be an awesome one. Michael coming over the couch. And yes, it would pay homage for us in a way to that classic snow globe. That'd be really cool. Alert says they have some nice figures coming out. Like NECA, the 78 Mike was sweet. Yes. Okay, you guys are giving your answers to this week's poll question. So let's dig into that. Let's see. Camp Blood Collections says Rachel Carruthers from H4. That'd be a cool existing character to revisit. And again, I'm not here even saying how they would do it. Maybe it's a requel. We've talked before about the idea of doing a requel to H4, and kind of ignoring H5 and Curse. There's tons of ways. Let's see. Teen Wolf says Stephen Lloyd, definitely Stephen Lloyd, Michael's son, and they've never done anything with him. Come on. I too think that would be an extremely interesting choice, especially given that, as I'm talking about Loomis, that was the last time we saw Donald in a film, was in Curse. And, in real time now, Stephen would be, how old would he be? Curse came out, what year did Curse come out, guys? Was it 95? I'm forgetting now. Was it 95 or 96? But, so Steven would be what? I mean, he'd be almost 30, right? Kevin Ketchy says, I still really wish H2018 would have started with Tommy or Lindsay, maybe even together as a couple or a new character, and they brought in Laurie naturally. Interesting. So you're suggesting maybe if they had started, rather than have the podcasters as these new characters, started with some of our familiar characters revisiting Tommy and Lindsay. That would have been cool. Larry says Loomis or Corey as far as the two characters he'd most like to see continued in some way. Brought back is really the question, because I'm not even suggesting that necessarily it would continue what's considered canon, but that would be possible with any of these, I think. Teen Wolf says brainy moment, bring Rowan back as adult Steven. Oh, now that's an interesting take right there. And then all of us would just kind of, it'd be like Danielle playing Annie in the Rob Zombie films, where it's just like a amazing Easter egg basically for us that, oh my God, our little Jamie Lloyd is now our new Annie. Hey, I mean, we all talk here. You know what a fan I am of Rowan and his performance. So yeah, I'd be all for that. Can't Plus says Jamie Lloyd would be cool. How's it going, Rob Windsor? Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Thanks for the compliment on the shirt. Yep. Thank you. Okay, so you guys chew on that poll question for a few minutes, and we're going to talk just a little bit here about H45, because it's been 2 weeks since our last Monday night gathering here for a Michael Myers Monday live stream, and in that time we've gotten some pretty significant, pretty exciting guest additions to the lineup coming to the epic Halloween 45 Years of Terror franchise reunion event. This is happening at the end of September 29th and 30th, and it concludes on Sunday, October 1st. And they've already got, by my count, I think we're up to 42 guests announced so far. And I've said this before, but I mean, this is already like many, many more than come to your average horror convention. Even now, more than come to like many of your bigger, more longer running established horror conventions. So already just the sheer amount of guests announced is awesome. And I don't think they're really close to being done yet either. But since our last report on 45 Years of Terror, 10 more guests have been added to the lineup, and some pretty exciting ones at that. So we're going to take a look at them right now. All right, so just a few days ago, the man himself, Dr. Dan Chalice, a.k.a. the legendary Tom Atkins, star of Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, officially announced and added to the lineup of guests attending Halloween 45 Years of Terror. And joining Tom will be his Halloween 3 co-star, Stacey Nelkin. If you haven't already, I urge you to read my 2015 exclusive interview with Stacey Nelkin. She was amazing to talk to. We met her at Flashback Weekend in Chicago. We sat down. She was very generous with her time at that event, and just gave us a great interview. She talked about shooting that infamous love scene with Mr. Atkins in H3 and lots more. It's a great interview. I didn't think to put it in the description of this video. When I recut this, I'll be able to say it's in the description of this video for you to find very easily. Also, you can always just go to HalloweenDailyNews.com and search for her name, and it'll come right up. Also joining the festivities, a genre legend in and of himself, the great Ken Foree. We've had the privilege of meeting Ken a couple times over the years. Most recently, we spoke to him when he appeared at Mad Monster Party, I think last year. And Ken Foree, of course, Big Joe Grizzly in Rob Zombie's 2007 Halloween remake. Also joining the lineup, another friend of ours, friend of the brand, if you will, and I consider him a genre icon as well. Daniel Roebuck, of course, plays the owner of the Rabbit in Red and Halloween 2. And Dan, of course, he was Grandpa Monster in Rob Zombie's The Monsters, and he's appeared in a lot of Zombie's other films and just a lot of really cool genre work over the years. And he's a really cool, nice guy. And best of all, he is a total monster kid, a horror fan, legit through and through, a collector himself. Really fun guy. If you've never met Mr. Roebuck, you're going to have a blast meeting and talking to him. And once again, if you have not already, or if you just feel like revisiting it, I urge you to check out my exclusive interview with Dan Roebuck, also at HalloweenDailyNews.com. And again, I'll add the description, I'll add the link, in the description, so you can find that very easily. And joining Daniel Roebuck is his Halloween 2 co-star, Rabbit in Red dancer stripper, played by Sylvia Jeffries. And I believe, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is Sylvia's first time appearing at one of these reunion events. It might be Daniel's first time too. I don't recall him being there in 2018, although he might have been. Actually, I think I misspoke. I think Daniel was there in 2018, now that I'm thinking back, but I do not believe Sylvia was there, and I don't think she appeared at the 35th, but you guys correct me if I'm wrong. So again, really exciting and cool to see some of these franchise actors coming in that maybe haven't even appeared at all, or in some cases, any of these prior reunion events. And also from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Jeff Daniel Phillips. He recently co-starred as Herman Munster with Daniel Roebuck in Rob Zombie's The Monsters. Jeff is also notable as being one of a handful of key franchise alums that, as you know, portrayed not one, but two different characters in this franchise. And in Jeff's case, he portrayed two different characters in the same movie. You know, he's playing Uncle Seymour Coffins there on the left at the Halloween party, and then he also plays the Rabbit in Red employee that has his encounter while taking out the trash with Michael Myers. Also from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Richard Brake joins the festivities at 45 Years of Terror. Again, I'm pretty sure this is Richard's first time attending any of these Halloween franchise reunion events. I don't believe he was a guest in 2018, unless I'm mistaken. And I know you guys will correct me if I am. But and Richard also, you know, he's one of a regular collaborator with Rob Zombie and has appeared in many of his films. And also, if you're a Star Wars geek like me, you know that in addition to all of his horror genre work, which is significant, Richard Brake appeared on The Mandalorian and gave one of the best monologues in the history of any Star Wars content. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you could probably just Google or look up the scene itself, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But he gave a really great monologue, all about the bad guys, about the Empire, in a key scene in The Mandalorian. And it was amazing and just really cool. And really cool, again, bringing Richard Brake in. I mean, he appeared as the Night King in Game of Thrones. I mean, he is, again, I can see from a booking standpoint that this is a actor that, obviously for us Halloween fans, and especially if you're like me and you really appreciate the Rob Zombie films, including and especially including H2, then it's a great ad. But even for fans, I think outside of this franchise, there's so many guests here that when you talk about Ken Foree and Daniel Roebuck and just some of these, Anthony Michael Hall, and now Richard Brake is in that category too. Just so many genre vets that have appeared in so many fan favorite projects over the years. But that's not all, because just recently, a few days ago, from Rob Zombie's Halloween, another friend of the brand, Christina Klebe, who played our second Linda. Of course, the remake Linda in Rob Zombie's Halloween. And Christina is joined by her co-star from Halloween and Halloween 2 and friend of HDN, Scout Taylor Compton. It wouldn't be a Halloween franchise reunion without these guys. I mean, Scout is only the second and only the only other person besides JLC to ever play the iconic role of Laurie Strode. So I've said it before, but you cannot understate her importance to this franchise. And you know, both Scout and Christina did amazing work in those films. I've met them both numerous times, and if you haven't already, I'm going to plug every interview with any of these people that I've done as they are announced. If you're wondering, yes, we are going to plug every time we've interviewed one of these guests. So with that in mind, if you have not already, absolutely check out my video interview with Scout. It was published here on the channel last year. I will add the link in the description so you can find it very easily if you have not watched it. It was a lot of fun talking to her all about the Halloween films and lots more. And last but certainly not least, the icon, the Scream Queen, franchise royalty, horror genre royalty, Danielle Harris, officially added to the guest lineup. Of course, our Jamie Lloyd from Halloween 4 and 5, our Annie Brackett from Halloween 07 and Halloween 209. And yes, I urge you to check out my exclusive interview with Danielle. We shot that interview in late 2021. It was actually our last interview of the year of 2021. And Danielle was very kind and generous with her time. She just launched her podcast at that time. And she came on our channel to talk about it and her career and Michael Myers and Jamie Lloyd and all that good stuff. It's an amazing interview. If you haven't watched it, check it out. I'll put the link in the description of this video so you can find it. A lot of cool stuff in there that I know you guys will appreciate. So there we go. Like I said, if my count is correct, we are up to 42 guests now, I believe. It's pretty insane. But there you go. There's the details. September 29th through October 1st, 2023 at the Pasadena Convention Center in Pasadena, California. That is Halloween 45 Years of Terror. Already, I mean, I keep using the same old pun of it is shaping up to be the most epic event, but it is already the most epic event for this franchise. I mean, I don't think that's an understatement. You guys tell me what you think, though. And in related news, we're going to be talking a bit tonight about the most recent episode. I know you guys saw it, of my favorite and probably your favorite video podcast, The Thing with Two Heads, with Sean Clark and Christopher Nelson, two friends of ours, buddies, friends of the brand, if you will. And their most recent episode, Sean did provide somewhat of an update, a little bit of an informal update on 45 Years of Terror. I know some of you have asked us, and a lot of people are asking him when the tours, the location tours, the Horrors Hallowed Grounds tour bus event on Friday the 29th, when those tickets are going to go on sale. And he said during the podcast that that's going to be happening very soon. He's just working out the different price tiers and the bus schedule and the routes and all that stuff, as you can imagine. One notable difference at this year's event that Sean, I guess you could say, kind of announced there that we can talk about is that at the panels, you might recall that, at last year's 5 years ago at the 2018 40 Years of Terror event, the panel moderators, some of them were kind of recognizable to those of us that are familiar with genre writers and personalities at different outlets. People like Brian Collins, people like Steve Barton, Uncle Creepy. They were moderating a lot of the panels in 2018. And they might be doing some this year, but Sean said that for some of the panels, they're going to have some very special and unique special guest moderators. And one of the ones he let slip during the episode that will be moderating one of the panels is going to be Mr. Spencer Charnas of the band Ice Nine Kills, which I think is an awesome idea and really cool. And there's going to be other people like him as guest moderators for some of these panels. And then it also got me thinking, well, wow, if Spencer's going to be there, they haven't really announced anything about the VIP party or if there's going to be a performance there. If you'll remember 5 years ago at 2018, there was a cool, intimate Alan Howarth concert at the VIP party. I don't know if they're going to do something like that again, but I immediately thought, Spencer's got that great song about Michael Myers, about the franchise. They've got that great acoustic version of it too, which would sound awesome inside that VIP party setting. I'm just saying, just throwing some wishes and hopes out there, maybe. But that all sounds really cool. Oh, and it did sound like that with the bus tours. If I understood right, and you guys, I put the link to the episode in the description of this video, and you can check it out when we're done here if you haven't already. But if you did watch it, you tell me if you understood it this way. But it sounds like the way the bus tours are going to go is it's going to be one tour for most of the buses, but there's going to be one special bus, the Sean bus, that'll be priced slightly higher because apparently they're going to take one extra stop, and that bus is going to be booked for an extra hour for this one extra stop that Sean says is really going to only be able to happen one time because I guess maybe the exact permissions or legalities of this location might be a little sketchy. You guys tell me if that's the impression that you got, but it all sounds very interesting, and it definitely sounds like a location that was not part of the 2018 tour, which makes it very exciting and interesting as well. All right, so there we go. Halloween, 45 Years of Terror. It is coming. We're just about, let's see, it's the end of August now. So, no, it's not. What am I saying? It's the end of July right now. So, yeah, we're about 2 months out from this event now. What do you guys think of this lineup so far? What do you think of these most recent guest additions and everything that we know so far about this event? I know a lot of you watching are going to be there. You're all getting excited, counting down the days. All right, let's check into the live chat. Brad's Music Channel checked in. Glad you're able to tune in as well, man. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Teen Wolf says, Richard is just eerie as Death Head in 31. Hey, I love Richard as Death Head in 31. I love 31. I watch that regularly in my Halloween rotation, and I think it's highly underrated. And yeah, Richard is awesome in that. He's been awesome in pretty much everything I've seen him in. But you guys look up his appearance on The Mandalorian. He gives a great speech about the Empire that is very Richard Brake, if you know what I mean, but in a Star Wars setting and in a Star Wars way. I loved it. Braden is checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Rob says, I also heard that Tony Moran is coming to make an appearance. Is this true? I have not heard that, and I would be surprised at this point if that were true, honestly. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why. If you guys don't know, you can Google it, but yeah, unfortunately, I think Tony Moran will probably be the only living Michael Myers actor not invited to 45 Years of Terror. I could be wrong. Maybe we all get surprised and he does make an appearance. But no, I've not heard anything about that. Puppet Master says, I love the 78 figure, just pre-ordered it. Thank you guys for telling me. Awesome. Yes, Teen Wolf. Yeah, Sean on his thing, he said that, yeah, he was hoping to get the tickets on sale, I think, last week, but I think now this week, by the end of this week, is the goal. And yes, unfortunately, I do think a lot of the VIP tickets were snatched up by scalpers, as you're saying. Michael Boogie Braun, what's up, man? Another illustrious channel member, part of the HDN Club. Oh, Michael believes that they're all going to be double the price, the buses. And they'll go an hour early. Nice. What he said about extra stop is first bus or two might be the only ones who may see that stop before they get kicked out. Okay. Awesome. So there you go. Now, also on this episode, again, I hope you guys checked it out. I did think this time to put the link in the description before we started. So if you haven't watched it, when we're done, you can check out the latest episode of The Thing with Two Heads. There they are, the two heads. Christopher Nelson, Sean Clark, again, good friends of ours, buddies, friends of the brand. This episode was episode 53. They celebrated their 3-year anniversary. And as part of the episode, you know, they talked about a lot of things that we talk about here, like 45 Years of Terror, like we just were discussing. But they also did discuss a bit about Halloween 2018. And specifically, Christopher gave some details, I think for the first time on the record, for his part anyway, on the original ending. Now, we all know that there was an original ending shot for the film, and it was reshot. It was screened at some points. There were, reports about it. There's been some blurry images from it posted online. So, but we've never seen it. It's never been officially released. I'm kind of curious and kind of hopeful that maybe this year, marking the 5th anniversary of the film, maybe we do finally get those deleted scenes from that original ending. But in any case, it was kind of cool to get in just a brief audio description from somebody who obviously was there. So what he says, and again, I'm not going to play their video here. You can watch it. This part starts at around the 1 hour 32-minute mark, if you're curious. But I will paraphrase briefly what Christopher describes, which is essentially the ending of the movie goes more or less the way we see, except the whole burning of the house and all of that was not part of it originally. It was going to end with a one-on-one knife fight showdown between Michael and Laurie in the front yard. They'd be slashing at each other, taking each other out, and it ended with both of them pretty much on the edge of death. Laurie would fall as if she's done. Michael would slowly stalk away as if he's kind of done. And he goes on to describe that Karen and Allison would then come and kind of scoop up Laurie, run her down the street, and they would eventually get into the truck that we see them get into at the end of the theatrical cut. Meanwhile, Michael would walk through the woods. And this is a scene that, again, this is the first time I've heard it on record described from somebody like Christopher, who was there on set. But James has talked to us about it without indulging in any specifics. He has talked about this ending and how he kind of preferred it. And what Christopher describes, and I can picture this, and you guys will just kind of have to picture it, but it's Michael, kind of on the edge of death, only we know, does he ever die? Of course not. But he's walking through the woods, and it would have been this kind of moody, weird finale moment. And then he would get to where all the mannequins are. Remember the Laurie's kind of shooting range practice area where she's firing away at all the mannequins, which was always kind of cool because, the mannequins with their dead, blank faces did always kind of mirror. I mean, I got it that was an allusion to Michael, and that was partly why it was somewhat therapeutic for Laurie, I think. So then to have Michael wander into that shooting range garden of mannequins, broken mannequins, and then he sits down and he just sits, and the camera stays on him and it pans slowly out, and he's sitting there still like the mannequins, almost as if he is one of them, is becoming one of them. I really like the way this ending is described, and it really, honestly, it makes me want to see it a lot more now. Now, in their episode, Sean did put this image in there, and this is an image, we've seen it before. I don't think we've discussed it specifically here on our channel during a Michael Myers Monday live stream, but this is an image that has surfaced online since the filming, and this is from that final scene. Now, I don't think this is an actual in-camera shot. This was a blurry cell phone shot during that, but it just gives us an idea of the kind of solemn ending moment. And I kind of like the idea of it ending with Michael there with those mannequins, which was Laurie's shooting range where she was practicing, and he's waited for this night, he's waited for me, I've waited for him. It's kind of eerie and oddly fitting. And now that we know, and again, I know there were descriptions out there. There's been leaked scripts. There all kinds of stuff like that. And to a lot of you, all of this might be very old news, maybe 5 years old news for many of you. But again, for me, it is significant to hear somebody like Christopher actually on the record now describing it in full. And I think it is okay because there is a bit of distance now from that with the whole creative team, I mean. So it's like they can talk about it a little bit. I also think Christopher kind of wants to talk about it a little bit, on their show, and then kind of more or less be done with it and say, I've answered all of your questions, just watch these episodes. Because they did say in this episode that they're going to talk more. In the next episode, they're going to talk about Halloween Kills, and then they're going to talk about Halloween Ends and talk about some of the changes that were made in those films as far as what was shot originally, what was scripted originally. They even went into some of Halloween Kills, and Christopher teased a bit of what he's going to talk about when they really go into that. And some of this I already knew just from talking to people behind the scenes, but he mentioned how much these scripts changed from the beginning stage of this is the first script for Halloween Kills to what actually got filmed. So much so that, according to Christopher and Sean, who says he also read this script, the earliest version of the script, or at least one of the very earliest that they saw, took place almost entirely in 78. Now, you guys know I love HK. I hate picking favorites, but if I gotta pick my favorite rewatch of these three, it's probably gonna be HK. And I love everything about it. I love the 78 stuff. I love the current James Jude Courtney stuff, of course. I think it's just all awesome. But everybody loved those flashback sequences. Could you imagine if that much more of the movie had been that? I mean, it's something interesting to think about for sure. And so I will be looking forward to those conversations on those films. And again, watch the full episode. They talk a little bit more about 2018 and 45 Years of Terror and the films and all that. And of course, all of their episodes are great anyway. You guys know that. You've probably already seen it. But I thought that was damn interesting to get those details. Tell me what you think of the original ending for Halloween 2018 as described here. Would you have preferred that ending now knowing for sure what was shot and what was originally in place and screened at those very earliest screenings? Do you think you would have preferred that over the ending we got? Or do you like the way the theatrical cut and the current ending is? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below and also right now in the live chat. And speaking of Halloween 2018, while we're on this subject and the great Christopher Nelson, this was a image he posted to his Instagram story, I think week before last. I had to save it because we didn't do a Michael Myers Monday that Monday, but last Monday, Christopher shared this for Michael Myers Monday, so this is technically our first shout-out for tonight. Goes to Christopher Nelson. He says, "Me as the shape about to get my hand blown off, haha." And so there you go. There's Christopher. We've talked before about how he actually did portray Michael Myers in the scene where Laurie blows his fingers off. There he is just before having the fingers blown off. And that is why Christopher is a guest at 45 Years of Terror. He would be a guest anyway just for his behind-the-scenes work and also for his on-screen work as Officer Francis, one of Michael's victims. But he also is one of the men to appear on-screen as Michael himself. So, pretty damn awesome. And let's just hit our other brief little news item here, because it's not even news because I don't know what it is. But in the same episode, Christopher mentioned this image that he shared. Again, he shared this on his Instagram not 17 hours ago. This was about a week ago. And I took a screenshot of it. As you can see, it's one of his Myers masks being filmed for something cool in the works. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but I do know on that most recent episode of The Thing with Two Heads, he did discuss a cool new project regarding this franchise in particular, and he could not go into details about it or didn't want to go into details about it, but the one thing he did say was it has to do with a record release, as in a music record release, an album. So I don't know if this means we're going to get some kind of reissue of maybe the 2018 soundtrack, maybe all three of the recent films' soundtracks presented in some new box set form, or with new extended tracks, maybe bonus tracks, possibly. I have no idea. And again, they mentioned talking to a specific person about this record project. So then that was a curious way to phrase it. A certain person. I mean, I don't know. I would think if it was the soundtrack stuff, they wouldn't be dealing so much specifically with Carpenter himself, and probably more with with representatives and the label and studio and all that stuff. So I don't know, but you guys give me what your take on this. In any case, it's a badass looking mask, a 2018 mask at that, as we're talking a lot about 2018 tonight, like I said we would. And of course, if Christopher's involved, it has my attention and excitement. But you guys tell me what you make of this. Lots of crazy, crazy stuff happening right now. I'm going to take a breath before jumping into our next news item, which is some merch news. Brand new Michael Myers merch. All right, let me take a breath and check in with the live chat here. Andromeda says, hopefully it's all unused tracks that Carpenter and Company wrote. I would love that. I'd be totally down for that. Just, bonus tracks that they didn't even use. They did do that extended edition of the 2018 soundtrack, so it could be something like that. I'd be all for all of that. Andromeda says, no, the current 2018 ending, no fire scene in Kills, keep current ending. Good point. If you change that ending, we don't get that badass firefighter massacre in Kills. That's a very good point to make. You change that, how does Kills open from there? Certainly not with our ultimate Michael Myers. And I think that probably would decide it for me of why we have to keep the fire in 2018. I think that's a brilliant point made by our brilliant friend Andromeda 1741. Let's see. Gamer Goblin has checked in. What's up, Gamer Goblin? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Josh Baker Videos has checked in as well. Awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Teen Wolf says Chris still hasn't released a 78 mask from Kills. We're never getting that version of Michael since he's holding the mask, right? I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't think it's Christopher doing anything with it. I know that Trick or Treat Studios wants to do it. I know there's a story behind it. Sean knows the story. Nobody's talking publicly about what the story is. This reminds me, though, of another related item we should talk about right now. Again, on Sean's Malfunction channel. Just today, he posted a really cool video with another friend of ours and recent video interview guest, the great Tommy Lee Wallace. And they visited the California location headquarters of Trick or Treat Studios and looked at all of their products. They did mention that what am I trying to say? The flashback mask from Kills that Aaron Armstrong wears. Sean asked the question. They didn't go into any details. Chris Sefro, head of Trick or Treat Studios, just said no movement on that, no change on that. So, do I think it'll happen at some point one day? Absolutely. But when is a matter, but it'll happen. I mean, Zefro told me years ago that they were going to have the Rob Zombie masks, and when they had that, they would have the entire franchise and everything, and it took them years to make that happen. But this year, it's finally happening. They have all 13 films fully licensed for the masks and everything, so that's awesome. Another thing that Chris Zeffro from Trick or Treat did tell Sean in that video, kind of newsworthy, that is coming, not this year, I don't think, anyway, but they were talking about Resurrection of all films. And Sean asked an interesting question because they were talking about the Resurrection mask, and Sean asked, "Have you ever thought about making the burnt look of how Michael appears at the very end of Resurrection when he opens his eyes? You know, the final jump scare, the burn look." Because I guess Sean has a screen use burnt mask from Resurrection, I think, and Zeffro said that yes, they are planning on making that release. Of course, they're going to, because they're going to make every single variant of every one of these masks from all 13 films that they can, and I don't blame them for doing that, because they are all different. They do all look different in the films, in the different scenes, even in different lights sometimes. So, and collectors like us are going to have to own every variant, every version anyway. So, there's a little bit of that news right there to kick off our Michael Myers March update. But yeah, I'm very curious on what that record project may be. I mean, maybe it's not official John Carpenter soundtrack related, but it just seems like it probably is. But it could, maybe it's something else. All right, let's pause, everybody. The great ProtectSafes.com has checked in with a $10, $9.99 super chat. Everybody, let's pause. Raise one up. A toast to ProtectSafes.com. Thank you. They don't even ask a question. They're just sharing some awesome emojis and offering some financial support. We love that. Of course, super chats are enabled. Memberships are enabled. Buy merch from our store. All that helps us, helps our H45 fund. We are real tight on money, hoping to make it all work, that we can make it out there as planned and hang out with you guys. So every penny helps, every dollar helps. And these super chats, yeah, I wish I could change the name to it. It's super chat. It's HDN's H45 fund is what these super chats are going to be from now on. So so thank you very much, ProtectSafes.com. Again, super chats are enabled. We love it. Think about joining the HDN Club. We don't do Patreon. The HDN Club here on this channel memberships is kind of our Patreon. It's just $5 a month. All right. Let me turn back over here for a second. Josh says the burnt mask. Yeah, that would be pretty sick. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to own that one too, I think. Did Chris say when we would know what the album is? He did not say when. I mean, it could be something to do with the 40th anniversary. 45th anniversary. Maybe it's going to be like a box set with 2018 kills and ends. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely curious. I would be down for unreleased tracks. Or just a similar like extended edition of Kills and Ends the way they did 2018. Andromeda checking in with a $5 super chat. One of our illustrious channel members already and good friends here in the Triple M community. Thank you, Andromeda. You are awesome. Michael is the king. You rock, Andromeda. Yes, he is the king. And thank you so much for your contribution to the HDN H45 fun. Awesome. All right. Before we get to our flashback video tonight, I want to let you guys know we were talking about Spirit Halloween and the bobblehead. Well, there's a few other cool new Michael Myers items that I've spotted already online at spirithalloween.com. Now, if you don't know, if you haven't followed our coverage of Spirit Halloween's 2023 product releases. Their flagship store in New Jersey is opening this coming weekend. This Saturday is their big flagship grand opening. And then after that, all the stores around the country are going to begin opening, some as early as August, others won't open until September, but you're going to start seeing the physical stores opening in a few weeks. But many of the 2023 items, from the giant animatronics on down to officially licensed smaller collectibles, are already online and available to order in stock right now from SpiritHalloween.com. Now, these three that I'm going to focus on right now, of course, we've already talked about the clothesline bobblehead. That's new for 2023. That is in stock, available to order from Spirit Halloween right now. But these are some items we've not talked about before, and are definitely new to the Spirit website. Now, this is pretty cool. This is an LED Michael Myers shutter projector spotlight. And according to the official description, it will turn your home into a house of horrors when you add this officially licensed Michael Myers projector light to your decor collection. And you can see once you set it up, let's pull up the bigger picture. It'll project Michael. Now it's got the three images, so I'm guessing these three images of Michael will just kind of float around in a circle, maybe? I don't know. They don't have video to go with it, so we'll just have to visualize. But this projector is $35, and again, you can order it right now from SpiritHalloween.com. I included an affiliate link in the description of this video and this live stream. And when you click on those affiliate links, just a reminder, it does not affect your sale price or your experience at all. All it does is it means that we, as an official affiliate of Spirit Halloween, will earn a very small commission on certain sales. We don't even get the commission on every one, believe it or not. Certain ones we do, though, and it's very small, but again, every bit helps. And H25 fun. So this is pretty cool. We've seen a lot of these type projectors in recent years. We've seen the Freddy, the Jason. There was a different Michael Myers one sold at Lowe's last year, an H2 Michael Myers. But so there you go, $35. And some of my collectors here in the live chat right now, I know are ordering it as we speak, or already have, more than likely. And there are two other cool new items listed. And now, but now I can't find them. Oh, where'd they go? See, Spirit might have gotten sneaky and pulled them while I was here yapping. Ah, here's one. Yeah, almost didn't see it there. Now, Spirit does a lot of these signs. I've got the Welcome to Haddonfield sign right behind me here. That's from Spirit Halloween, and it's cool. This one, they call it a slash leaner sign, I guess, because it's lean. It's 30 inches high and only 4 inches wide. And it's got the night he came home at the bottom, Michael with a bloody knife up top. Kind of cool for $20. I mean, not a whole lot to it, but again, for the completists, and you know, who doesn't need more Michael on their walls, right? And again, I have put links to these in the description. The Michael Myers slash leaner sign is $20. And there's one more new item that we've not seen available from Spirit before. I don't recall ever seeing this exact item. Now, we've seen similar, but this one is a little different. Again, if I can find it. It's kind of, I don't know, they might have pulled the other one. Hang on, guys. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Give me 1 minute. Scratch that. I found it. Don't need the 1 minute. Yeah, we've not seen this before. This is new for 2023. This is the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers canvas. Kind of done in a style to harken back to that famous, I think it's called American Gothic painting. Again, I've talked about how the Laurie Strode character has in recent years, especially more than ever, been elevated to pretty much an equal iconic status to that of Michael within this franchise, within the genre. So kind of cool to see her featured here with Michael. This canvas measures 16 by 12 inches. Nice little touch that's got a little blood splatter there in the bottom left corner. And Michael and Laurie look good in that painting. I mean, it's a artistic rendition meant to resemble an old school painting, but I like it. I'm not usually a big fan of some of the canvases and fleeces that they release. I mean, they're for what they are, they're cool and everything, but this one I kind of like. And I do like when we see things that are not exactly the way we always see these characters. You guys have seen me wear my Michael and Laurie shirt, where it's Michael and Laurie depicted as if they're Batman and Robin in the old Batman and Robin animated series. And so I always love seeing characters that we're so familiar with, depicted in different and unique ways sometimes. But there you go. Some brand new 2023 Michael Myers merch to chew on. That canvas is $25. And again, all three of these items currently listed in stock, as is that new clothesline bobblehead at spirithalloween.com. They will sell out. At least that bobblehead definitely will, and most of these items will sell out online eventually. You'll be able to find them in stores once they start opening, but who wants to wait for that, right? You can order them up right now at the affiliate links in the description of this video. Let me know what your favorites of the new merch we've seen so far. Again, not a ton of new Michael Myers merch yet. I do know we're going to get some cool convention exclusives for 45 Years of Terror. Sean has teased that they've been working really hard with some of the brands that we know and love, and think Trick or Treat Studios, think Fright Rags, brands like that are going to be doing certain things that will only be available at 45. I know we're going to be getting some of that stuff. And I do anticipate some other cool merch announcements. And of course, we got the Ins Ultimate figure finally from NECA to look forward to later this year. But Spirit, keeping the Michael love going. Every year they bust out a few new franchise products. I wasn't expecting a ton this year. Hopefully, we're going to see some more. It doesn't look like we're going to have a brand new Michael Myers animatronic this year, but we were kind of spoiled last year with two different ones in two different stores from two different makers, all from Halloween 2, which was pretty impressive. But give me your thoughts on these new collectibles, decor items, Michael merch. Yes. Yes, Andromeda. Spirits open. Well, like I said, the flagship store, their main flagship in Jersey, opens this Saturday. And then all the others will begin opening after that. I think the earliest any of the other stores are going to open is going to be August, like early August. But by Labor Day, I would say most of them are going to be open. A must have, yes. I think so. I mean, that canvas is really cool. That's my favorite of the three we just looked at. Although the projector, I mean, we've got a projector that we use that's really cool. That's different than that. But I mean, I would like to own the projector just for the novelty of it, I think. And, you know, I could find some use for that during the season for sure at our house. I could definitely find some use for that. Josh still needs to order Corey's Scarecrow mask. We're taking pre-orders for them on our site, so you can order it from us right now. And I've got a link to that in the description of this video, too. As well as Allison's Black Cat mask. Hope Trick or Treat makes in this 1/6 scale figure. Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, they've done 2018. They're doing the whole franchise. I'm sure they will. Teen Wolf is not gonna lie. Attempted to get the canvas, though you can get a cheap frame for it from Home Goods. Yeah, I think I might have to get that canvas. I bet seeing it in person looks really good too. How much to have James Jude Courtney as Michael come live with you? Andromeda says. I don't know. I don't know if he's fermenting like that. Larry says, remember, y'all, evil doesn't die, it changes shape. Lori's best line since Loomis, this isn't a man line. That's a bold statement, but I might agree with that. What do you guys think? Is that Lori's best line since Loomis's This Isn't a Man? Is that like comparable to Loomis's This Isn't a Man? I think Larry's onto something. Evil doesn't die, it changes shape. I mean, I love that being how they end the film, you know. A film that they knew was gonna piss people off by how little Michael was in it and all, but here they are saying that, you know, yeah, we killed Michael, but evil doesn't die, it changes shape. And seeing that mask sitting there, you know, not in a box, not put away, but just sitting there, front and center on her coffee table, I think too, is like the last image of the film is really important too. Patrick Ring, esteemed channel member, and that Halloween movie collector himself has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Late to the party. That's all right. That's all right. You're not too late. Don't have a whole lot more to talk about, but you are here. That's all that matters, my man. And you are here in time for an awesome flashback video I'm about to play, even though we're technically entering into Tuesday in about 30 seconds here on the East Coast. Sam Eichner has checked in. Hey, speaking of masks, can you have someone come on and explain rehauling masks, the process? I could look into that, sure. I mean, with the current writers and actors strike, obviously, it's kind of cramped our style and, quite frankly, some of my plans, including those directly involving people with this franchise as far as our interviews go. As you guys know, we've really been trying to ramp up the interviews we do here, and but now the actors are all on strike, and as a result, one of the rules is they can't do interviews and talk about their projects, even if it's old projects, it seems like. And we certainly don't want to rock the boat, and we support all that stuff. But I don't mind telling you, I mean, I'm not going to name names, but there was some people, including one significant Michael Myers actor, in fact, that I've never interviewed before. And we're gonna do it. It'll happen at some point. But we had been talking months ago about doing an interview this year and specifically this summer, and we were timing it to wait a little bit closer to fall, a little bit closer to 45, a little bit closer to when they could talk about their next project that they want to talk to us about that you guys know about. Well, that's all going to happen. I just don't know when now. It was going to be happening very soon, like in the next few weeks originally. Now with this strike thing, it's kind of messed things up as far as our interview plans and schedules for the moment anyway. It could all end tomorrow, and then things are on again. But in the meantime, to get to the point, I think your suggestion of maybe bringing somebody on to talk about mask rehauling and talk about their process or something like that, I think that would be really fun and interesting for me and I think for you guys. So give me some other suggestions like that. I've said before, we are going to be doing some interviews with some more like industry related creatives, some of the people, for example, like some of the inside people at Spirit Halloween corporate level or Home Depot or Lowe's corporate level who make some of the decisions about some of these giant animatronics that they're ordering and building each year. And individuals like that, people that work at Trick or Treat and design some of these products that we're always talking about and in love with here. Maybe I can get one of the creative art directors from Royal Baubles to come on here and we can talk baubles, specifically horror baubles. I want to hear their process for how they decide what iconic scene from which movie they're going to baubleize. I'm sure there's a process to it. I would love that. Let's see. Teen Wolf says, to be honest, Lori's quote doesn't compare to Jamie's quote at the end of H5 when she says, he'll never die. That's a good one, too. That's definitely a good one. Andromeda, I love Hawkins' line, it always seemed to me in his heart he wants one thing. Nice. That's awesome. Michael Boogie Braun says, Nick Molpagano, excellent mask overhauler. I know of Nick. I've seen his work, of course. I've never met him or talked to him. Yeah, maybe that would be something we could do. I would be down with that. Like I said, we are specifically with the interviews. It's funny you say that. I'm being forced to pivot a little bit right now, like I said, as a result of the strike. That being said, though, Directors Guild members are currently not on strike. And I am working on a couple director interviews, including one I'm supposed to shoot tomorrow. Just a little short press day thing for an upcoming movie, not related to this franchise, unfortunately, but still another project I think you guys will dig and enjoy. Michael says he's very passionate about explaining the process. All right. That could be really fun. And I mean, and you guys chime in too. I mean, is that something the rest of you would like to hear? I would like to hear more about it myself, I think, just for my own knowledge and education. And I think that could be a lot of fun. All right, Rob suggests Simon Brandolino is also awesome. All right. Rob said, Larry says, followed by Lonnie saying he's going home. And John says she loved everything Lonnie said. Teen Wolf says Dean Knight is another great rehauler and dedicated Myers fan. All right, cool. See, I'm even making notes right here, guys. I'm going to write these guys down because this is a good idea. for possible future guest subjects. Maybe even have a couple of them on. You know what I mean? Like a panel of rehaulers, possibly. I mean, I've been lucky enough to talk to the man himself, Christopher, and interview him in 2018 about the creation of that mask. Well, we talked a little bit about it. He couldn't spoil too much then, but he told me what he could at the time. Yeah, let me write this down as well, because you guys got some good ideas here. Simon Brandolino and Knight. All right. Cool. Yeah, and if if any of these guys happen to see this and are interested, yeah, hit me up, and we'll set something up. Otherwise, I might be hitting you up here in the near future. All right, it is after midnight, but real quick, I'm going to play a short flashback video I loaded up for you guys this week. You'll remember 2 weeks ago we talked about my most recent interview with the legendary Dick Warlock, and I shared a clip from that interview. Now, I've been lucky enough to interview Dick a couple of times over the years. Our most recent interview took place in 2021. It was our video interview, and we talked about everything, H2, H3, all that good stuff. And 2 weeks ago, I played a clip where it was mainly about Halloween 2 and stuff. Now, this clip I'm going to play is a little bit different. It's not specifically discussing these films. This clip, you'll see, I was curious because Dick Warlock, you know, he lives in Tennessee, and I was curious how often someone has come to his house on Halloween night, trick-or-treating, dressed in a Michael Myers costume. So you'll get his answer to that question, and then that leads into some other thoughts and conversation that goes into the way of Michael Myers figures. And I was curious because there's so many figures and just merchandise made in Dick's likeness as he appears in Halloween 2 as Michael Myers. And so I was curious about his thoughts on that, and does he own any of them, and what does he think of all that? So with that in mind, I'm going to shut up for a couple of minutes. It's a pretty short clip. It's only about 5 minutes long. I'll still be here, as always, lurking, stalking in the live chat. I might comment if I feel like it, and then I'll come back on after this clip, and we'll do some Michael Myers Monday shout-outs before we get out of here for the evening. So please enjoy this clip from my exclusive 2021 one-on-one interview with the legendary, iconic Dick Warlock. Well, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Yeah, Rat. Okay, let's start that over.
I was going to be a plumber or a carpenter or something. And then I went to the hospital with my heart, had open heart surgery. And the Screen Actors Guild and their insurance and the name.
Okay, let's try this again. How many times back on Halloween, the holiday, have you seen Michael Myers come trick-or-treating at your house over the years? Is that surely that's happened just once?
Mm-hmm.
Just one time?
Yeah.
And they had no idea whose house they were at, I imagine?
No, I live in a small town. When I moved here, I was going to be a plumber or a carpenter or something. And then I went to the hospital with my heart, had open heart surgery. And the Screen Actors Guild and their insurance and the name Warlock came out instead of my legal last name. Oh, then the newspapers came Then it got in the newspapers, and then it was, oh, he lives here. He lives over here on this street. We're neighbors. And you know, all the school kids know, and they go, Mom, take me over to the Michael Myers house. They don't know me from Adam, but they know Michael Myers lives here.
I got you.
You know, and we try to be home and hand out bags to each individual kid when they come. And several times I've put the costume on because I've got a Ken Hurtline or Hurtline who made the KHDW mask. Remember that?
Yep.
He made me a set of coveralls, so I already sold mine. But he put the gunshots in the same place and all. So I'll put that on it, and I've got a mask that he made of Myers, and I've worn it. I'll stand at the front door, and Kathy will open the door, and I'll be standing there or something. There's a redheaded neighbor that is just frightened to death of Myers. At least she pretended to be. And I finally busted her one day at the market. I saw her up there and said, "You've been faking this reaction," and she just kind of, oh. She never denied it, but you could tell she'd scream. The first time I had encountered her, she picked up something off the ground. I thought it was small pebbles or something. Threw it at our glass door. You know, you got it instead of a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is this wacko? She's a crazy kid. You know, wasn't a kid. She's not a kid. She's 40 years older. She's a day. But anyway.
I was also curious, do you own any Michael Myers figures or collectibles by chance that have been released over the years?
Yeah, they're gifts. The thing people have given me stuff. People have given me masks. I got a whole collection of masks that different makers have given me. Do you know Nick Malpagano?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him personally, but yeah, I know who he is. Yep.
Yeah, he's given me 2 now. In fact, I'm surprising a friend of his. We're going to do a Zoom on Sunday. He sent me a mask that his most recent, 2 of them. One for this friend, but the friend doesn't know he's going to get it.
Oh, wow.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to say, I've got some pictures on my computer I want to show you. I'm going to hit the Zoom click, open it up, and let Nick say, "Oh, Dick, I think you ought to get in the box over there," and give him his treat. And we're going to surprise him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Nick has made another mask. I don't know what it looks like because I opened the box, but I didn't look at the mask. He's got them all covered up. So I thought it'd be a surprise for me too.
So they send you, yeah, I imagine you
drift off the subject there.
No, that's fine. You know? That's perfect. I love that.
Start here and end up here, or vice versa.
That's okay. That's how the conversation works. But yeah, they'll send you, because they've done a ton specifically from Halloween 2. You know, with the bullet holes, like you said, and sometimes it's with the blood tears, and sometimes not, and or interchangeable heads now. NECA has some Halloween 2 interchangeable heads.
Somebody gave me one of those too. The newest one with the knife or whatever, an extra hand or something.
Yep.
Got the little pumpkin. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have it up here.
And they did one recently with a Dr. Loomis from Halloween 2, and even Laurie Strode from Halloween 2. So they're doing all kinds of Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 love as well. They did the 3 trick-or-treaters from Halloween 3 last year. I
do have that white-faced little Mikey with the pumpkin between his legs. Have you seen the stuffed one?
Oh yes, yeah, like the plushy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one of those somebody gave me.
Do you get a kick out of that, just seeing this merch?
I do. Yeah. I don't know what to do back for these people. You know, they give you stuff and you, what can I do for you? Nothing. I did. Just want you to have this. And it's so generous and you know, just full of grace. Yeah, when I think about it, that's what that's what starts to get to me a little bit, is that they don't have to do that, you know. It just, yeah, it's all right.
Oh yeah, he is such a legend, and as you guys have said, and many of you have met him, can attest to yourselves, just one of the nicest men you could ever hope to meet. Definitely one of my heroes, one of yours, one of the greatest Michael Myers actors of all time, and just one of the greatest stuntmen ever in the history of movies, Dick Warlock. If you've not watched my interview yet, check it out elsewhere on this channel. I will add the link to that in the description of this video when we're done here as well. It's a two-part interview from 2021. If you want to do a deep dive and go further than that, go to our website, look under the interview section, and go read my 2015 first interview with Mr. Warlock, which we conducted in Charlotte at Mad Monster Party that year in between the convention hours and days, and it was pretty amazing. Andromeda says he needs a cameo in the next Halloween project. You know, in that interview, we talked about just that, and you know, I didn't even have to say it. He says that he would love to do a cameo. He'd be happy to be killed by Myers. He'd be happy just to be some guy in the restaurant or at the bar in the background. He'd love it. And what I said all along, and I cannot believe they didn't do this more on any of these last three films, but I wanted them to bring in all of the former Michael actors. George Wilbur, you know, God rest his soul. Nick, obviously, he's taken care of, but Dick, Don Shanks, Morga, like you said, Tyler Mane, Bradley, Chris Durant, you know, bring all of them in and have them in some scene together where they're like all hanging out, shooting the shit. I think that for us fans would have been so epic and so cool. You know, not to take anything away from all of the cool legacy cameos we did get and Easter eggs we did get, which I love. And some people would say that would have been too much, but what do they know? That would have been awesome. But yes, he needs a cameo in whatever the next project turns out to be. I feel like they should have included him in some way in one of these last three films. I mean, I know you can only do so much, and you can, you know, but he does. I mean, again, he brought it up. He'd love to do just a cameo. Rob says he doesn't have to do anything more. He has made me happy for life. Great guy. It's like talking to my grandfather. Totally. Yeah. Like you said, he's got that grandfatherly vibe. Just, and the stories, though, you know, it could just go on. And that's why when we talk, even in that clip, you know, he's got a lot of stories. So I don't really care about my questions. I've got questions prepared all the time. But the conversation, and this is the way I try to conduct the interviews, is wherever they want to go, that's where we go. And with him especially, you know, that interview is kind of wide-ranging. It's all over the place. But when you've got the career and the memories and the experiences he has, yeah, you just want to get as much of that as you can. So, yeah, did I plug that interview enough? All right, check that one out if you haven't. I think most of you have probably seen it, but I loved that conversation. Patrick says we need to ask Sean for a Michael Myers Monday Horrors Hallowed Ground tour bus. Ooh, one just for the Triple M crew. Patrick, you are woo. That would be wild. Yeah, and then we'd have to. Who's going to bring the giant banner that we hang from the windows of the bus? You know, like a high school football team would hang their, like, we're going to the playoffs. Who's going to bring the big Michael Myers Monday banner for the bus if we do that? That is a great idea, though. That is a great idea. And Michael Boogie, yeah, there you go. He just mentioned Nick Mopagano. Yes, isn't that funny? You guys brought up Nick, and then Dick brought up Nick in that very same clip. So, yeah, obviously he's at the top of the list for people to talk to as far as rehauls, for sure. But I think that'd be a fun interview, you know, to talk to him or somebody. But I think that would be a fun, interesting subject matter for you guys and for myself. I would enjoy that. Yeah, Andromeda. All the Michaels playing cards or shooting pool. Yeah, that's what I was always thinking. Like even just like I could even envision it before these movies came out. I wanted like almost an over the shoulder shot of like James, and maybe he's not even wearing the mask yet or at this moment, and he walks by, and there they all are at a table, just raising hell, shooting the shit, telling stories, just like they would be in real life, in other words, just being themselves. And then, I could almost see they'd all just kind of stop and look him up for a minute. And one of them, Dick or somebody, should be like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And you know what I mean? And then Michael would just silently move on, and they'd go back to their hooting and hollering. It'd be a magical scene. Um, but hey, maybe we can get them all together and shoot it in Pasadena, right? Yeah, that'd be a trip. Yeah, I don't know if we can put all of that together, but you never know. Eduardo Guerrero, hey, happy Michael Myers Monday, man. Rob's gonna have one made, have the banner put together. Sweet. Yes. Yes, Andromeda and Michael, you both said shooting cards or playing pool. That's hilarious. You both had great minds think alike on Mondays. We are like mind melding Michael Myers Monday, mind melding. Michael Myers mind melding. How many M's is that? Yeah, and I got to do the shirt. Maybe next week I'll try to have a Triple M Crew shirt or something ready in our spring site, and because we need a shirt that everybody can wear. All right, it is after midnight. We have been on for almost 2 hours. I can't even believe it. Let's do some shout outs, shall we? Just a couple shout outs. Yeah, you guys know what's up with the shout outs. We are always picking out just a couple random tweets and posts. And I didn't get a thread up this week. I guess I should have prepared a thread. We were gonna start adding that in, weren't we? Anyway, we'll incorporate threads next week. And I don't know what to call tweets now, because did they change the name of Twitter today or something? I heard something about that. I know it's got this weird X logo now that, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, we're going to start on the platform most recently known as Twitter. And look at our first shout out of the evening. This is from our friend Christine Machanska. And she's always tagging us on cool Michael Myers Monday content, and we appreciate it. And she tagged us on this one. She says, "Okay, so in the next version of Halloween, can we have a Michael who does this?" And she shares Nightmare on Film Street's post from yesterday saying 100 days till Halloween, y'all. Now, let's take a closer look at this poster, because Christine wants a Michael Myers that does this. I dig it. I like it. I like that he's wearing Vans, too. That's my my shoes. They should be the classic black and whites, though. And yeah, I think we could use this, a Michael that could do this. But didn't we kind of get one that does that a little bit with Corey Cunningham a little bit? He's a motorcycle boy, littler motorcycle than this, but he's a motorcycle boy, and I love that scene when Allison's riding on the back of the motorcycle with him, and they're just breaking all the rules with no helmets and everything, and it's just awesome. Young love. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject. All right, another tweet. This one comes from Michael Myers at The Shape on the platform formerly or most recently known as Twitter. He says, kept Haddonfield fresh since 1978. And we always see so many different variations on the Michael Myers Monday and taking Michael recreations and imaginations and letting them run wild. So hey, we're equal opportunity here. We see plenty of females rocking their Michael Myers masks and merch in somewhat scantily clad attire sometimes. So we're equal opportunity. Yeah, we'll share this one too. And one more from what I guess I'm still calling Twitter. I don't know. Is it called that now, guys? I don't know. I haven't had time to really give too much of a shit, honestly. But this one comes from Lily Myers. Gotta love that name. And she is at Lilith Myers 97. Love that. A lot of Michael Myers Barbie love, or a lot of Barbie love on this Michael Myers Monday, I guess I should say. Did you guys see the new Barbie movie? Are you going to see it? Do you care about it at all? I mean, it looks pretty funny to me. I'm sure I'm going to see it eventually. It broke a lot of records as far as money it made. But yeah, a lot of Barbie-infused love on this Michael Myers Monday. This one says, this Barbie is a very dangerous man. And keeping that same theme going, but moving over to Instagram, this one posted today by the classically deceased. Says, what a weekend. Barbie took in $155 million. Now I know she's no killer doll, but Mikey still had to go see it. Pretty awesome. Michael rocking his pink shirt in the big Barbie box. Also from Instagram earlier today, this is Mr. Slaytastic. He says, give me your candy. I shared this. We were tagged, and it's just an awesome shot of Michael. The mask is on point. The framing, the tint, the colors. Great shot. Now, this one from Instagram, they technically didn't use the Michael Myers Monday hashtag. This was shared by Storm King Comics, which is, of course, John and Sandy King Carpenter's comic imprint. And they said, it's creeping up on you. Stay vigilant. Less than 100 days till Halloween. And they shared this awesome scene where Nick Castle, as Michael Myers, is in fact Halloween itself creeping up on the world. And again, they didn't technically use the Michael Myers Monday hashtag, so I had to remind them there in the comments for next time. But, yeah. They get an honorary shout out nonetheless. And last but not least, one more from our buddy Dave Farrick, another guest at the upcoming 45 Years of Terror. Of course, young Michael Myers and Halloween 2007. He is now joined by many of his co-stars. They haven't announced Hannah Hall yet, who played Judith in that film. She was there in 2018. Kind of hope they announce her again. You're seeing her here in this shot. But Dave always rocking the Triple M Michael Myers Monday love. Go follow him on Instagram if you don't already at Great Dave Official. He's got a lot of cool things going on. And, I got to say it, if you haven't watched it already, make sure you check out my exclusive interview from earlier this year with Dave Farrick. Recorded well before any of the strikes. Got to say that now, right? Don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything. Andromeda, that's hot. Yeah, I figured you'd like that. Andromeda wonders if any cast or crew secretly watched this. Rob wonders the same thing. Well, you never know. You never know. You know, we do have surprise guests pop into live chat all the time, you know, not to take anything away from you guys. You guys are surprising and special every week. But, you know, we've had Christopher Nelson show up in the live chat sometimes. Sean drops in every now and then. Eric Preston was in here a couple times. 2 weeks ago, we had a lot of people in there. We had the director of the Halloween Stalks fan film, Dominic. We had the Halloween Lives podcast, Duncan Brothers. So a lot of a lot of surprise guests popping up in the live chat from time to time. All right, you guys know what to do every Monday since 2013. Michael Myers Monday has been a thing, and we still see tweets and posts all the time. Apparently Michael Myers Monday is a thing, and I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. Where you been? It's been a thing for a decade, but but it hasn't always been a live stream thing at 10:31 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. Now, that part of it started in late summer of 2020, back, you know, when we were all still homebound and everything, and I was trying to get a hang of this talking to a camera, communicating with you guys in this way type thing. And now here we are 3 years later, almost exactly. It was August of 2020, and here it is. When next we gather, next Monday, is next Monday August? I don't know. It's going to be pretty damn close to it. It's almost been exactly 3 years. So, and yeah, if you watched those first couple of weeks of Michael Myers Mondays, yeah, good luck with that, because I won't watch them anymore. I'm not planning on pulling them, but I'd be scared to watch most of them. I usually can't watch these once they're done because I just hate watching myself. But you know, I'll edit out a few news videos sometimes, and that's as much as I can do. But in any case, I guess what I'm getting at is what a long, strange, wild, awesome, killer, amazing ride this has been. 10 years of Michael Myers Monday, coming up on 11 years of HDN itself, and 3 years now of Michael Myers Monday live streams here with you guys on YouTube, on this channel. Again, it was just an experiment, and the 1031 was, hey, 1031 magic number combination for us here at HDN, and for anybody who loves Halloween itself. So it looks cool, it sounds cool. Let's do it at 10:31 p.m. Eastern and see what happens. And I'm fully aware that we could probably get a bigger live audience if we did it at different times, different days even. But the longer we've gone, the more it's like, well, now we can't change it. Now it is what it is. Now this, you know, other shows, other live streams can be what they want, but Triple M Live, yeah, it's got to be this way. So I guess what I'm getting at is thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for joining me at any point in the last 3 years. If you have, if you've dropped one like or one comment in the live stream or on any of our videos, I totally appreciate it. And to our regular crew here, I call you guys the Triple M crew. Yeah, you guys are amazing. You know, our channel members, you guys are amazing. The support you give us, you know, not just financially, but just here with your positive vibes. I mean, we don't get on here and bitch about things we hate about this franchise. We get on here and celebrate things we love. And see, I get emotional saying that, because that, to me, is what this is all about. You know, it was always about celebrating Michael Myers and this franchise, and yeah, you know, not being something where we just complain about what we didn't get or what we're not getting or what we think we want, but then when we get it, we don't want it anymore. You know, like so many other people that talk about this stuff. And I don't just mean like YouTube people. I just mean people, you know, fan communities. I'm in a million groups and stuff. I see comments on our social media, on others. You guys see it. So again, from my deepest soul, thank you for not being like that and for this being so much better and cooler than all of that. You guys are the best. So, with that, I'm going to get out of here. Oh, Patrick says, did you see my 67 mistakes in Halloween video? Figured you would. I will have to check. I have not watched it yet, but I will check it out. Yeah, Patrick, check out his channel, that Halloween movie collector, right? Drop a link in the live chat if you want, Patrick. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out, man. I have not yet, but thank you for the heads up. I'll definitely do that. David, thank you, sir. Rob Windsor, thank you for the kind words and the support as always. And again, thank you all for being here, for hanging out, for your participation, for your support. It's all appreciated. None of it goes unnoticed, believe me. And if you weren't here, then I'd feel awfully silly sitting here talking to myself all night. So, and yeah, it's a lot more fun than it was in the beginning. Not to take anything away from those people that were there in the early shows, and a few of you might have been. And if you have been, God bless you for sticking around as long as you have. But for all of you that have joined us along the way, yeah, it's been amazing, and looking forward to doing a lot more of it and connecting with you guys in a whole new way, right? At H45. So, all right, until then, I'm going to get out of here. It is well after midnight. It is well after the 2-hour mark. I cannot believe it. Every week, believe it or not, I come on here thinking, yeah, it's probably going to take about an hour, maybe 90 minutes if there's a lot of like back and forth conversation or something. And yet, most weeks it's much longer than that. So, sorry for you guys that got to get up early. Thanks again for your patience and for hanging out. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future live streams, including our Michael Myers Monday live streams here and all the other cool stuff we got coming your way. Like I said, there are interviews coming, just not actor interviews, new actor interviews right now. So if I'm resharing some clips from previous actor interviews over the next few weeks, you'll understand why a little bit, okay? All right, I'm going to get out of here. You guys are awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Let's do it again soon. Until then, keep it killer. I'm Matt Arts. For Halloween Daily News, thank you and you and you and every one of you watching this. And even if you're not watching live and you're watching on a replay, thank you too. Thank you all. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night.